The content in this magazine could contain references of topics and difficult subject matter that may be triggering. Please honor yourself, inner knowing, and proceed with whatever help or guidance you feel is intuitively aligned. Welcome to Sovereign Magazine Podcast. I'm Nicole George, CEO and founder of Sovereign. I'm so happy you are here. We are the magazine podcast and community guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves. From heart-led conversations to magical meditations, our inspiring guests will show you how they can help you step into your sovereign self. Are you ready to listen to your inner voice and step into your power? Then keep listening to hear all of the intuitive messages meant for you today. Hello. Today I have the absolute privilege of reconnecting with Dani Devren, Sovereign Magazine's Law of Attraction, Manifestation, and Energy Alignment Columnist. She is the soul-aligned mentor supporting women to prioritize themselves while they build personal brands that feel like home. She also teaches self-discovery and social media as a spiritual practice, blending marketing strategy with mindset, identity, and how clarity, calmness, confidence all start within. She is passionate about manifesting your dream life by living in alignment with your soul's purpose and the universal laws, mentoring women through intimate experiences and her mastermind to rise collectively and create a more connected, high-frequency world. Welcome back, Dani.
Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a good one tonight, right?
It is. I'm super, super excited. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, Dani worked in the fashion industry, and today we're talking about seeking material things, which is our May New Moon issue. And in her article, so beautifully titled, Seeking Beauty Without Losing Your Soul, Dani shares a lifelong love for beautiful things and how she once felt embarrassed about being in the fashion industry and a fashion student because it didn't seem to carry the same weight as a more academic pursuit. And absorbing that narrative meant loving beauty meant lacking depth for her. So why don't you share a little bit more about this? And I can't wait for us to chat about it because we have some different views.
Thank you so much. I think it started back when I was at school because my parents really wanted me to study languages and be really academic, go to university to, I don't know what they thought I was going to get into, but I was always very creative. And I just really didn't get on well doing my A-levels. And luckily, my mum realized how unhappy I was and let me go to the local college to study fashion. So I've always been supported. I was always allowed to explore this eventually. But then I did really well in college and I went off to university to study fashion. Again, my family were really supportive, but I felt like, and I don't know where this really came from other than sibling rivalry, because my sister was way more of the typical student, the academia student who studied occupational therapy and went on to work for the NHS. And growing up, I really felt this real kind of divide between us where she was always seen as the kind one, the lovely one, the one who looked after people, the one who went and had an amazing career within NHS. And that is something that's really commonly respected, right, when you work for that department, the health department, right? Whereas I was the young, rebellious little sister who had fun drinking on weekends and partying and studying fashion. And I think that just created this narrative that as long as I was having fun, I was happy. But that gave me a kind of, I don't know whether it was, I felt inadequate, always looking up to my sister. Like, actually, I can be serious too. Actually, I can take my life seriously. I'm not just about having fun and, following fashion trends or whatever. It's a creative outlet. But it's a really interesting one to navigate because I've always followed creative paths and I've always been somebody that lives in the moment and has a playful relationship with spending and money. And I believe, like everything, money is energy, easy come, easy go. You have it to spend it and enjoy it. We can generate more money. There's so much money out there. So I've always had a healthy mindset with it. However, my family is very hardworking class and they're Italian. So my parents and my grandparents, everyone's always been really, really hardworking. And there's always been this kind of tinge of resentment that I'm always having such a great, chilled, relaxed time. And it doesn't matter But I think there's something in that. And actually, what I've learned now and what I am really proud of is the fact that I believe in hiring your surroundings and the frequency and the environment that you're in, because it genuinely will create a high frequency around you, so you do feel lifted, right? And for me, I like to surround myself with beautiful experiences and environments. So even when I became a business owner, if I worked at a beautiful bougie hotel or coffee shop, I'd have a way more productive day than if I stayed at home surrounded by mess and toys and housework. It is just the way I am, and I'm proud of it now because I've seen the results and the reason behind it. And it isn't necessarily materialistic or being pretentious. It's about truly appreciating beautiful things because we deserve it. And I think maybe on some level that's part of my Italian heritage, because Italians love beauty and indulgence. And when I started running day retreats, what I realized was women have never ever prioritized their own pleasure as much as everyone else's, because that feels like it needs to be at the bottom of the pecking order. Just make do as a mum, as a wife, as a woman. Rarely does a woman prioritize her own beauty or makeup or clothing. And I've been the same. I mean, I didn't spend money for years. I'm just very lucky that I worked in fashion, so I got free clothes. So I always looked okay, but in my head, I'm like, I can't buy myself a single thing. I can't go to these places. I have to be really careful. And actually, there's that balance between really appreciating the finer things and actually being responsible and knowing that it's not that deep. It's having that eye for things. And so basically, when I first had my Akashic Records reading, the soul realignment that I talk about kind of started my whole awakening. And when I learned what my soul gifts were, so basically there's an energetic matrix and there's all these different divine gifts, and you're a different percentage in all of them. And divine order is the one that is linked to beauty. And I'm high in that, of course. That's like my third one. Whereas somebody else might be really low in that. So they couldn't care less whether they do their hair or care about interior design. And this is what's fascinating. And I'm always so obsessed with all these things that really do show how different we all are. And it all depends on, of course, when you look at astrology, your birth chart, it's probably in there. When you look at your human design, it's probably in there. But my first experience was this divine gift. So I was divine love, and I was divine communication, and then I was divine order. And all three of them just completely sum up who I am. I'm unconditional with my love for everyone and everything. And communication, I love social media and marketing and people and conversating. And I kind of channel my healing through words and spoken words. So on a small example, like when I meet people, I can change their mood and lift their day and change, how they're feeling about something just because of the way I speak about things. So that made so much sense. And then when I was told about divine order and I was asked, are you really into your beauty and fashion and interiors? And I was like, yeah, isn't everyone? And then you realize, no, not everyone. And I don't know whether that's my Sagittarian or something, but I just never understood how people didn't function the way that I did and didn't prioritize things the way that I did. And I always struggled growing up because my parents couldn't care less. My sister could not care less. And I always felt guilty that I wanted the glitz and the glamour and the bells and the whistles. I want the beautiful balloons every birthday. And I want to go all out and get dressed up. And I would be the first one years and years ago, before content creators were a thing, right? I would take photos of our table before a meal. And I used to get laughed at and teased, and I didn't care. I just did it anyway. But I always did these things before they became really kind of commercial now. And I also think, what's wrong with me? Like, why do I care? But actually, to care is to love, right? And now I understand that I just want people to feel good about themselves, and I want to feel good. And if laying out my food and my table and propping up some, I don't know, shoes or handbag and taking a photo of it brings me joy, it's just part of my creative outlet. So yeah, it's a massive one for me, really, this topic.
It's so funny because you and I talk about often how we feel like we're sisters in so many ways. And this is the one time we're complete opposites. And I must have a very low divine order score because
Right.
I'm the exact opposite. I don't wear makeup anymore. I stopped at 37. I never liked it. It made my eyes itch. I could care less. I stopped dyeing my hair as well. I absolutely love I don't have to go get my hair done anymore. I actually cut my own hair. I mean, I am just like low maintenance, right? And I like it that way because I'm such a homebody. Like going out is so much energy for me. I'm a combo introvert, extrovert. So when you're with me, you would never know that I'm actually introverted in terms of that's where I regain my energy. So I have to come away from everybody to recharge. But when I'm with you, I'm an extrovert. Like my husband calls the greeter of the neighborhood. Every time somebody, comes into the neighborhood, I'm like, how are you? What's your name? Who are you? But internally, I'm like, okay, stay away. Don't talk to me too much. Let's wave from afar. But I always like greet people. And so I love this because we have the exact polarity on this show today. Like me, in one sense, where I'm like, yeah, I could care less if I'm in sweats all day. And that's exactly what I'm wearing, my slippers and my sweats on the bus.
Whereas I'll get dressed if I don't feel cute, right? I will literally get dressed when I'm at home because I have to feel cute. And it's like my hair today,
And I wish you could see. Your hair is so gorgeous. It's up in this cute little ponytail with her curls all over. By the way, it's nighttime. Like I'm in bed by the time she's recording right now at 8:15 p.m. her time. I'm in bed by 7:30. So she's like all dressed up and yeah, you're all glitzy and glammed up. And here it is super late. And so that's really important to you. But I think we need to talk about, you talked about this frequency rather than like, I could never say this word for frivolity, frivolousness.
yes.
I'm going to say it like
And
that.
pretentiousness,
There,
right?
we'll just say it
That's
like
the
that.
difference. And I think that's when I
Yeah.
finally gave myself permission to lean into this. And again, that's through the exploration of divine gifts and human design, because it's the perfected form in my human design. That's what it's called. I just remembered it's the perfected form. And for me, it made me realize and remember that I don't like beautiful things for a pretentious reason. It's not to show off or to claim that I have money or things. It's not about the materialistic things at all. It's the way they make me feel, because I like to be in that high energy, that high vibe, and I like to feel those sort of wavelengths. And the thing is, what's interesting is everyone can choose to feel like that, but not everyone gets those feelings from the same output or the same surroundings. That's just how my frequency goes. That's just how I am created. So within my human design and all these amazing things. But I think that's the difference. And I think for a long time, I wasn't consciously aware of that and I didn't have the knowledge. So I did question myself and I did feel like I had to shrink. And that was another thing that we spoke about. Before you become your true, authentic, aligned self, you do shrink because you feel that you are doing a disservice or you are intimidating or offending, or you need to shrink yourself so other people don't get intimidated by your light. And then when I realized all these ways about myself and I realized none of these parts of me are trying or willing or wanting to do harm to anyone else. And they're not even about what some people might judge them to be about. And actually, when I stepped into that place of it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, it doesn't matter whether somebody misunderstands me, because my whole purpose here is to be my true, authentic self so I can shine brightly, so I can help others. And when you realize you have to step out of your own insecurities, you have to own it. You have to own all parts of you unapologetically so that you can be your true self to help others. And I genuinely believe that's why we're here to serve. We're here to be of service. But until you know who you really are, you cannot be of service. So there's going to be people out there that need to hear what I've got to say about beautiful things and surroundings and high vibe. And there's going to be people that are so misaligned because they are not doing the things that they need for their own divine order, perfected form, or whatever. If we are in a similar frequency like that, then they would love to know that, oh, it makes sense. That makes me feel better because I'm the same. And I worry that people judge me and think I'm materialistic or stuck up. And I've always joked that people call me a spoiled princess. It's like, I'm not a princess. And actually now I'm like, do you know what? I'm a whole damn queen and I will own that. That's the difference when you can really own and love all parts of you. And you just learn to accept it. And it is a whole permission slip.
It is. And I think that we touched very slightly on this, but I really believe it's a frequency. There is a difference between somebody who is believing in beauty and material things for a frequency of, let's just say, misalignment. We'll just call
Yeah.
it that, versus somebody like you who is in complete alignment. And it is not for any negative purpose or harm. It truly is for yourself. You can feel that vibe off of you. I never feel weird around you or anything like that because your beauty is so genuine and it is so contagious. It's so contagious. Like just being in your aura is so fun. Inside the Sovereign community, you'll find more than a social platform. You will find many private spaces led by women who walk the path with you, like Abby from Canada. Connect with her in her sacred space called Reclaimed and Rise. Step into the Maven Haven with Ebony from the UK, or join the Open Heart Collective with Bonnie from the US. These are just some of the soul sanctuaries curated by conscious women for conscious connection. Come find your space inside the Sovereign community today. Let's move into steps to your sovereign self. And so for the woman or man or anybody who identifies differently, who is sitting there saying, I want to hold my beauty with light and love, without attachment and comparison, what would be one recommendation you would have for them today?
Wow, just one. I could have loads.
Oh, many.
The main thing is you have to own your light. You have to own your sparkle. You have to fix your crown before you can expect anyone else to. We have to love ourselves first. Otherwise, how can we expect anyone else to see us for who we truly are? And that might sound really harsh and it might be quite uncomfortable for people, but you have to back yourself before anyone else will. So if that is what is niggling away underneath you, you need to release it, unleash it, and you need to really channel that part of you because it's beautiful and amazing and it will spread joy. And I think there's something so special about when you realize that we all have a fire within us and we need to use that fire to light up the world and not burn it down. It helps. Like, it really does help to realize that this isn't about you. This is about everyone that you can help and touch when you remove those limiting beliefs and when you stop holding yourself back and you get out of your own way, because that's what we do, right? We get in our own way. We hold ourselves back and nobody cares. Nobody really cares. It's only us. You know, we're the only ones that are worried about who cares. And usually nobody cares. Nobody notices. So just do the thing that lights you up.
Yeah, I always say, like, if my daughter says something about somebody famous, I'm like, that famous person isn't talking about me, so I'm not going to talk about them today. So I'm just going to own who I am and just be my authentic self. And if that person makes it into my field and my energy, then that's what was meant to be. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at me going, did Nicole do this today? Or did she not? No, it's all for yourself. So if you want to dress up in those high heels and that cute black dress and all of that, then do it. Do it. Yes. We are owning ourselves today. Okay. Wow. Dani is in our community, community.sovereign-magazine.com. All her details are in the show notes, and she will be back for some more because she is our columnist. Thank you so much, my love. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another soul-led entrepreneur here to help you step into your sovereign self. Subscribe to our magazine and podcast and join our global community for all the magic. Details to connect with today's guest or join the movement are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. It helps us reach our goal of guiding 5 million women to self-sovereignty.